Hey, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the RidgeStead. This will be part 5 and 6. At least I think it's 5 and 6. It might be 4 and 5, don't remember. Probably should have made just one big video for all this, but figured I would split it up. So for the next part, we're going to be working on the roof. So what we're using for materials is going to be steel corrugated roofing. That's something that you normally use on your house, pole barn, shed, garage, anything like that. And then we're actually gonna be gapping this steel with some plastic poly that's see-through. Our goal for that is to use natural light and not having to run lights in the actual barn itself until winter time, where we'll probably use a heat lamp. All right, so what I'm gonna try to do first is lay all these out and kind of get a feel of where I'm gonna be screwing all of these in. The only problem that I see I'm gonna run into is that the poly might end up cracking wherever I wanna kind of drill it in, and actually cutting it to length, since it is a tad bit longer than our shed width. Shouldn't be too big of a problem if you kind of do some pilot holes, but we'll see. So running into a little problem is the sag right here. So where the poly and the steel overlap right here, it's sagging down a bit, and I actually can't get screws all the way through like this to hold it together. So I'm going to be putting in a couple beams all the way down this side, and then going to possibly have to do some right here, because if I can't screw in the overlap right here, it's going to be a bit of a problem. Because I could do it kind of janky, put the screws in here and there, and then hope that this kind of holds, but might as well do it right and just reinforce it all. It shouldn't kill too much of the light with the beams coming right here. There's only probably going to be 4 coming down all the way this way, and then yeah, if I get lucky I won't have any over here. But yeah, let's get those cut, installed, and then yeah, should be cruising rest of the way. Alright, so that turned out actually way easier and way better than I thought. It's definitely totally supported now. It's not gonna fly up if there's wind, and I don't think there'll be any leaking. For this side, I actually did get lucky enough where I'm going to be able to bolt it into the frame. As I did a little set screw back there, you can see that it's gonna be pretty tight. So the other problem that I kind of saw I'm gonna run into is that I'm pretty short, and I don't know if I will be able to get bolts in the middle here, because I could probably only reach right here and then way up at the top. So hopefully the wind doesn't rip it off. I don't think so, because our wind doesn't get too crazy here, but it only takes one storm to totally rip it apart. But yeah, let's finish this up. See what I mean? I'm way too short for this, I'm gonna fall. Always have someone holding a ladder for you. Where Melissa is, I don't know. Nah, she's probably doing some good Carter. I feel like Ace Ventura when he's trying to come out of that rhino. That ain't going nowhere. You coming to check it out?
Mama too. Tell Daddy how you can say goat shelter now. Goat shelter.
Oh wow.
Yeah. A goat. It looks really good.
Thanks. I think it's enough light.
Yeah.
Considering it's not even sunny out.
The goat shelter.
Yeah.
It's almost done.
Where are you going? What do you got?
Beef.
Or what do you have?
Is that a dandelion flower?
Yeah.
Smell it.
Thank you.
Me too. Thank you. Alright, got the rest of the supports in, so there's not too much sag and the wind won't rip this part off. Going to clean up a little bit of the screws that are actually sticking out and kind of chop those little tips off. And just like that with those last screws and the supports, the part 5 or 4, if I knew how to count what part I'm on, is complete. And next is going to be the Dutch doors, so let's get those going. All right, so with everything cut the sizes we need, now pull out the pilot hole jig. I kind of looked at this before and everything was already set to size from what I needed. I can do a breakdown, otherwise you can find a video online of how to set all these up. But since this is 1x4, it's technically about 3/4 thick. I'm sorry, did I say 1x1? This is 1x4, which technically is about 3/4 thick. So you set it to 3/4, and then basically wherever you want to drill the pilot hole, kind of slides on like this. Okay. Sticks?
Yeah.
Oh no, not sticks. What? Watch out for them sticks. So watch out for them sticks. Something I picked with this wood is that it's not all perfect, which will kind of hopefully kind of look a bit more rustic, especially when I kind of like paint it. Maybe I'll stain it, I'm not sure, but definitely be going on bare for now until maybe this summer or fall when we get around to actually putting siding on the shelter and whatnot. So far this is super simple, literally just rinse and repeat like everything else has been. But yeah, for this idea I literally just found someone else that was making shelter Dutch barn doors. So I'm kind of stealing the idea how they did it, but I mean I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory to anyone that isn't woodworking. Okay, this is what we're looking at. Since it's treated wood and it was kind of wet, it wasn't really cutting the best when I was drilling into the pilot holes, but it's literally just 2 on each side. And there are the frames to our 2 doors. Basically identical. This is what I was meaning when I kind of got wood that was imperfected. Looks a bit more rustic, but not everyone's gonna want that look. And they might want it to look more fancy and pristine, but yeah. Next we are going to do the slats. They're going to be going down the back this way like this. And then, well actually I'm going to be doing the cross first inside of here. Never done that before, so we'll try that out. Yeah, after that then we'll do our slats going all the way down, and that's it for the door basically. You can actually, I'll show later, you can put plywood down on the final backing if you want it to be completely seep proof or wind proof or waterproof, whatever, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal, but I'll show that later. So for the X, just gonna line it up exactly how I want it in these cracks. All right, everyone, so got bad news. I messed up. I went to go test fit the doors with how they were with just the frame and the X going across. The ones that are going the height, I put on the outside of the width, which made it too big. So I really needed the width ones to sit on top of the ones that are going vertical with the height. And yeah, so everything I just did, I took apart for tonight, and I am going to sand it all down, redo it. And I think the only thing that I might need to change is cutting the vertical boards a little bit shorter, so we get 36 inches throughout the whole entire frame. And then I have to trim down the X pieces going across because now they will be too long. So the only good thing that's coming out of that is the X pieces were kind of cut a little bit wavy because I'm not too great with that circular saw to cut angles, so I can redo that. But yeah, that sucks big time considering I wasted all that time, but at least I only got that far and didn't put the backing on and realized that I had it totally wrong, because that would have caused a big problem and all those pieces would have been short, or yeah, short. Yeah, so we will pick that up tomorrow, and I will build the doors like I said before, and then we will pick back up once we go to test fit those and install those. So we'll see you then. All right, so all of our doors are complete after that whole fiasco of me building them incorrectly. I had these side supports on the outside instead of the inside, so it ended up being a little bit wider and it would not fit into our frame. So good thing I double checked fitting when I had just the little skeleton part made and not the whole backing, because that would have caused a big problem and a waste of materials. Also, you can see that I had to install this door because we got our girls a couple days after that night that I was trying to finish these doors. Built this one and installed it off camera, but for the rest of the video I am going to be installing the little ledge or the little sill that goes across the top here along with the little stopper. So once this door gets put up and closes, it will stop it instead of going further in past where this door stops. And also it will stop our door from kind of hyperextending on these hinges. Everything I brought out here is already pre-cut to size, so I could just install it really quick. This is just a 1x4 that I used for the outside of the trim and the door skeleton part, or the door frame. So after installing this, I actually have another 2x2 just like this that is going to be going on the inside right here to kind of beef it up a little bit and not have it so wobbly. So if you put too much pressure on the little shelf, that it pops off this way. So this should give it a little bit more strength. And then the next part will be another 2x2 on top just like this that we will drill into a little hole, and I have a little latch that will lock the top door to the bottom door that way. Alright, so now this little lip should hold the weight of this little shelf, and like I said, it was splitting, so that kind of sucks. I'm going to pre-drill the holes just for right now all the way down, put some screws in, and hopefully that helps. But like I said, I'll end up eventually replacing this. Yeah, easy enough. Alright, so I kind of got it shimmed where I want it to sit. I have about 1/2-inch plywood that I kind of been using as like a gauge. This side, the gap's fine. It's pretty long, but I might just bring it in a little bit. So I actually have to move this one down just a tad, probably in line with this, because otherwise I'd be screwing right into that crack, which I don't want to do. Alright, going to see if I can use these quick grip clamps. Get this right where I want it. Next, for this little lock, I'm gonna take my little 1/2-inch plywood gauge and use it as a little mounting plate right here. Otherwise, this little lock would be kind of getting right into the groove right here, and I want it to be right dead smack in the middle. Just because if, say, the wind catches this, or Carter ends up pulling on it, or something just happens where it gets caught, and I don't want this to crack or snap off, and so this can be kind of stable. All right, so that should be it. Got the lock in. Only took me like 4 times, but I think we're good. All right, so the door is complete. Have the lock done on the inside. A couple little things that I might still add is right over here, I do have a door handle that I might connect here, so I can put maybe a little eye bolt or some sort of hook here that I can hook the door open when we're not out here, just in case the wind takes it and doesn't loosen up these hinges. Hinges I just got at Home Depot. These are regular 50-pound hinges. And then for the latch, same thing, Home Depot. You just drill through, and then you have the same exact handle on the inside, opens up the latch. Matching lock. Yeah, I could say I'm pretty happy with it. This will definitely be reinforced fall when I put that little gap part in, because as of right now you could push this past the lock. But for right now we just won't be little a-holes and push it more than we need to. What do you think? You like it? Huh? Do you like it? Alright, going to go over a couple little things we did not film because we were completely busy with the girls. Mounted a fan because it is crazy humid here and has been high 90s. So have an extension cord ran out the back and going over the fence. None of it's laying around because they will chew through it. So that's why we had to mount this up so they cannot reach it. Once they get bigger, I might have to move it up or get a bigger box fan and mount it over here. And then right here have simple solar LED lights that we use at nighttime when we're here feeding or doing whatever we got to do. You can see a little solar panel outside. Once again, this is just mounted going through the top. Cords are out of the way because they will chew through them. And then a couple of the other things that we have right here are some little galvanized tins with our minerals. Minerals, we did have, I think it was kelp in here, and then their grain. Hi, girl. And then as of right now, we have just a little tote for their hay, which we do have a metal wire rack that we will be putting in here, but since they're so small, we might as well just use something that's accessible. Hi, you hungry? Hungry? So for the last thing that we have is a cot. Got this off Chewy. It is a large dog bed. They like to be elevated. I will eventually be building a bench against this back wall that they can sleep on. And that's why we kind of have the plywood on it, because they like the harder area to sleep on. Otherwise, they are on here or in between the wall and the bed. They like a little backing also. They're actually just kind of like deer, where they like to bed against something. So yeah, that is it for our shelter build for right now. We will be adding a lot more to this later on, and I would have to say that I am pretty happy with how it turned out, and I think the girls like it. And then yeah, they are starving, so I am gonna feed them. If you enjoyed this, liked it, go down below, like and subscribe. You can see all of our other stuff that will be coming out. If you want to see more of the goats, rest of our property, and all the other plans we have going on, other videos like our bees, and then we are going to be doing a lot more gardening and kind of food plot stuff for other animals. So yeah, go down below, like and subscribe. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you later.